Wiglaf stands in an intact chamber, having just come up the stairs that he chose from among the two choices on the previous level. This chamber is completely intact. It looks as it would have looked when it was being used. And in the center of this chamber is an ancient altar made of what looks like either iron or maybe the same material that the iron pillars are made out of. Inscribed upon this ancient altar is some sort of writing that Wiglaf from here can't decipher. He's standing at the top of the stairs. The altar is across the chamber from him, and so he and Griff are going to have to walk across it. And he is hoping that this is in fact the ritual of radiance that he's looking for. But is it? Hello and welcome. I am Scrapperlock, and this is Ironsworn, Antarctica. We are with Wiglaf in an intact chamber, and we are doing a delve. So let's go back over what happened in the last session. Wiglaf, we did an awful lot. Wiglaf tried to cut down some saplings to get across the lake and avoid the Kalanick, but we failed. We got a miss, and it was matched, so he broke his hatchet. And we were doing a scene challenge, so there wasn't any way for him to build a raft. So what he decided instead was to go around, ford the river, and find something. And what he found was he brought down a deer with his spear, and he used it to go back to where he had seen the Kalanick and dump the body in the water so the Kalanick would start feasting on it. So he put bait in the water. And then he and Griff swam to the island, but the Kalanick saw them at the last minute, and it swam over there, and it lurked in the water waiting for them. And then they slept for the night, and they searched then for a way to get through the woods, and they found a game trail, but what they didn't realize was during the night the Kalanick had gotten up and crawled into a pool of water next to the game trail and tried to ambush them. And so they ran away through the trees. The Kalanick's body wouldn't fit through there, and it was defeated and had to go back to the lake. And then they got into the delve, and they went through, and the bottom level of the tower was an ancient library, and Wiglaf foolishly tried examining some of the books, and the shelves collapsed on him, and he had to dive out of the way. And then he snuck up to the next level, and he found a hallway, and he stuck up to the next level, and he found a crumbling hall and a dilemma, stairs going two different directions, and he took the left stairs. And this is where we got a matched strong hit when we delved the depths to get up there. And so we found an opportunity. And so this is secure. But I noticed one of the things I messed up on a little bit is I said that when we looked through this, that we found ancient relics or something. And I didn't mention the relics. And so we're in this chamber, and we've got a matched hit. And so this is a super great luck, right? So we really should be, at this point, we should have found our ritual. And so I said, well, let me see what these ancient relics are like, since we ended needing the ancient relics. And I went to the oracles, and I rolled action and theme, and I got, what was it? Effect, 79, and then 11, leader. And I think, well, what are we here for? We're here to affect the husk, who is the leader of at least this chapter of the death cult, or maybe the whole death cult. So it seems to me like there's a relic here that's going to affect him, which to me would be the altar. So I think, in fact, that this is probably the altar. We're going to have to see if we locate our objectives. Maybe it's not, but it seems very likely that it is. So what I'm going to do is we're going to delve the depths. We're going to move through this area, and Wiglaf is going to use his wits to examine the ritual and see if, in fact, this is the ritual that he is looking for. So we're going to delve the depths to get to the altar and see what happens. So we don't have a lot of momentum here. I believe we only have 2. We're at 5 health, spirit, and supply, which is good. And now we're going to delve the depths, and we're going to move through this. So I picture this At one time, it was probably some sort of a religious temple-like thing. Maybe it had, other than the altar, maybe it had some pews or some benches. It might have had some incense burners. But most of that is gone, stripped clean, rotted away. And instead, what we have is just an altar on top of a dais. And Wiglaf is going to move through. Now, there are shadows. There are some columns. So something could jump out at him. And he's going to move through quietly. So we're using shadow. And we roll a 5 plus 2 is a 7 against a 7 and a 4 weak hit. So now we're going to roll, and we're using the shadow column, and we get a 26. Mark progress and reveal a danger. So we have we have made some more progress. But as we're creeping through here, there's something dangerous that's going to happen. Maybe a creature will jump out at us or something. We haven't had any creatures, so I feel like that's a probability. Let's go to the reveal a danger move. Envision the danger or roll on the following table. Let's just roll it. See what happens. We roll a 60, which is an environmental or architectural hazard. This is an intact chamber. Let's actually flip it and call it a 6, right? Because I feel like the architectural hazard, it doesn't make sense that something would collapse on us. Is there some other thing? Maybe there's some sort of a magical force here? I think if we flip it and we make it a 6, we can check the theme card. We really haven't done much of that. I think I would like to do that. A 6 is a hazard. Well, see, still hazardous architecture or terrain. Okay, so I think it looked like an intact chamber, but it's actually not. And as Wiglaf is going across, either the ceiling is going to collapse on him, or the floor is going to collapse under his feet. I think it's more likely that the floor will collapse. So I'm going to call that likely, and let's roll. We get a 46. So yeah, so the floor collapses under his feet. And he and Griff are going to have to dive out of the way or fall down to the next level and potentially get hurt. So let's face danger. And so we are going to face danger plus edge to try and dive out of the way of the collapsing floor and see what happens. We get 2 plus 3 is 5 against 5 and a 2 weak hit. So we face a troublesome cost. So so what should this, so does this delay us? I mean, that would bring our momentum down to 1. I mean, I think that makes sense, right? Okay, so we have to dive to the side, and now the whole center of this room is opened, and Griff is on one side, and Wiglaf is on the other side, and Griff kind of whines, and Wiglaf kind of points toward the altar, and Griff doesn't like that, and Wiglaf goes, come on, and they kind of creep their way around the edge, and they get to the altar, or they're going to try to do that. And I think now we're going to locate our objective. So I think the results of locating the objective will tell us whether, in fact, we make it there safely. So either on a miss, if the objective falls out of reach, we've been misled. We discover something about this site, that there's unexpected depths. So let's see what happens. We have 8 progress, and we roll a 10 and an 8. This is a miss. So I think we get to the altar, and it is not, in fact, what we're looking for. It does not have the ritual. And what this means is we've gone up the wrong way. And we're going to have to clear some progress on this miss. We've clear all but 1 filled progress and raise the site's rank by 1. So now the site becomes a formidable site. Can we move this? Yes. And we clear all but one filled progress. Very, very bad. All right, so what this means is we went up the wrong way. And now we're going to have to go back down into the rubble-choked hall and go up the other way. So I think we're going to have to delve the depths to go back down there, because now part of the floor is collapsed. The stairway may be partially collapsed. So they get to the altar, and it turns out that it's just an altar. And there's some writing on it, but he can read it in Ironlander, and it's certainly not the ritual. And he remembers that his mother said that maybe the writing was on a wall, so maybe this isn't it. And so he heads back down into the rubble-choked hall, and we're going to have to try and go up the other way and see if that helps us. So first we're going to delve the depths, and we're going to do it quick, like sort of carefully. So I think we're not doing it with haste, we're doing it with observation, intuition, and expertise. So we're going to go carefully down the stairs and back into the next room. And we roll a 2 plus 3 is a 5. Oh, no, sorry, plus 2 is a 4 against a 7 and a 10. Miss. So we're going to reveal a danger. So I told you guys last time the dice would betray me, and they did. We get a 62, which is, again, an environmental hazard. So I think the stairs collapse, and Wiglaf is going to have to face danger again, plus edge, to try and get out of the way. And if not, either he or Griff are going to get hurt. Griff! And he tries to grab the dog and pull him out of the way as the entire staircase collapses and the whole upper floor slams down. And the altar crashes down. Everything is broken now. And we face danger plus edge. We roll a 6 plus 3 is a 9 against a 7 and a 0. That's a weak hit. So I think this is going to hurt us. So this does it. You know, Wiglaf like bruises, like bangs his knee, and we're going to have to endure harm. And we're rolling plus health, which is plus 4, and we get a 5 plus 4 is 9 against, get this, a 9 and a 3. Weak hit. Man, we just cannot get strong hits no matter how well the action die rolls. So we're back down in this area. We haven't made any progress at all. And everything going up to this side is collapsed. Now, once we get up to this level, it's possible in the next level we could get back over, because remember we said there were 2 sides to this tower. So down here it's ring, like circular levels, and up here it's semicircular levels. So once we get into the, what is this, 5th level, we might be able to go sideways. And once we're up here, I'm going to come back down here and we'll just keep going up this way in terms of the map. But we've got to try to get past this. So Wiglaf and Griff dust themselves off, and Wiglaf curses. And he says, all right, come on, Griff, let's try to go up this other level. And Griff's not having much of this. His tail is down and his ears are drooping, and he is pretty unhappy right now. And Wiglaf says, come on, let's head up this other stairs. And let's not be quiet, because we've made so much noise at this point. Let's just go ahead and go up. And we're going to use wits, because he's not trying to be sneaky. And so we're rolling plus wits, and he's going to try to go up the next staircase. And we get a 3 plus 2 is 5 against an 8 and 2 weak hit. So we roll the following table, again using wits, and we roll a 94. Take both. Oh, that's not bad. Mark progress and find opportunity. I thought it was going to be bad, but it's good. So we mark progress. So we get through here to the next area. We mark progress. We only get 1 this time. And we're going to find an opportunity, but first let's envision the area. And we get a 57, another rubble-choked hall. I'm going to call this a rubble-choked chamber. And let's go ahead and draw a little circle. And so Wiglaf is in this rubble-choked chamber, and we're going to find an opportunity. And that is from moves. Here we go. So this is a weak hit, so we have to roll. And we get an 88. We locate an interesting or helpful object. Well, I don't know what that might be, so let's roll on action and theme and see what we find. 1, scheme, and 31, scheme, hope. All right, so something that gives us hope. Can we go back to this instead of scheme? Control hope. We find some sort of a helpful object that controls hope. Maybe, do we find a map, perhaps? Do we find a map? I feel like that's possible. Let's ask the Oracle. I say that's likely. Maybe he finds here in the rubble a blueprint of the tower. Yes, 92. So he ends up finding this like old scroll laying in the rubble. And he says, what is this? And he opens it up, and it's like a map of the tower that shows him that, in fact, in case we need to go the other way, if we go upstairs, there is a connecting hall between these two sides. And so he can then sort of zigzag back and forth. So he at least knows that there is a connection, and he can go back up and come down the other side if he has to, or what have you. So that's our opportunity. And we're at 2 progress, so we got a lot more delving to do. All right, so Wiglaf says, all right, come on, Griff, let's continue. And he picks his way through the rubble-choked chamber, and Griff kind of goes with him, and they're looking for the next stairway to go up. And so we're going to delve the depths, and we're using observation now. I really can't see any reason to use edge at this point, because we're not trying to run from anything. We're going to use observation and wits and see if we can find the stairway to go up to the next level. And we get a 1. Plus 2 is 3 against a 3, and a 6. That is a miss. So as we're going through the rubble, we reveal a danger, and we get a 00. Roll twice. Both results occur. So the first one is 70, which is a discovery undermines the quest, and the second one is 38, check the domain card. So the domain card on 38 is crumbling corridors. No, 38. A blocked or broken passage. Okay. So here's what I think. The way up is blocked. But because we found the blueprint, there is a way to go back to this place that Griff is not going to want to go back to and try and climb up through this side. I guess that's what's going to happen. And what was the other bad thing that happened? We face a perplexing mystery or a tough choice. So I think that's our tough choice. Do we want to try to go up through, like, pick our way through the blocked area? Or do we want to try and go back to the dangerous room and go up that way? I think Wiglaf is going to try to go the other way. So let's move him in the middle here so I can put blocked there. And Wiglaf says, all right, Griff, let's come through here. Now, Griff doesn't like this at all. He starts whining. And he says, come on, Griff, let's continue. Let's go through here. He's going to lead Griff into back to the chamber that had the decoy altar on it. And we're going to go carefully and again using plus wits. And we get a 6, but my dice hate me. 6 plus 2 is 8 against an 8 and a 9. This is another miss. I just don't know how we're going to get through this thing if we keep getting misses with 8s and 9s like that. All right, so this means that we reveal a danger. So we haven't even gotten to the altar. Instead, we reveal a danger. And we roll 62. An environmental architectural hazard. Okay, so I think that this is partially collapsed as well. I think... Sorry, I guess we can't actually get through here. It turns out, even though the blueprints say we can... It's going to be a pain in the neck trying to delete this. We can't actually get through here. So Wiglaf is going to have to go back, and he's going to have to clear this blocked area. So he's going to just have to dig it out and start pulling stuff down and try not to get it to collapse on himself. And I think this is going to be securing an advantage, right? He's attempting to prepare. So he's trying to clear the rubble away from this. So let's see if we can secure advantage. He's using his strength. Maybe now we can leverage one of our better stats. And we roll a 2 + 3 is a 5 against 9 and a 2. Weak hit. So we take 1. We'll gain 2 momentum. Brings us back up to 3. So we gain a little bit of momentum. And then we're going to try to delve the depths and see if we can get up these stairs now that we have cleared some of the rubble. So I'll delete that. We're going to delve the depths. And now Wiglaf is going to, try to get up there. And I think, should we go quickly? I don't think there's any point to being stealthy. Let's go quickly so that these stairs don't crumble under our weight. And we'll roll plus edge. And we get a 6. Plus 3 is a 9. But guys, it's against a 9 and a 5. It's another weak hit. I keep rolling great on the action dice, but my 10-sided dice hate me. Should I retire this one die? It keeps rolling 9s. No, I'll keep it. I'm not going to go find more D10s right now. So we got a weak hit, so we roll. And we were using edge. And we get a 30, mark progress, and reveal a danger. So we get up to the next level. I'm going to put this here, and before we reveal the danger, let's see what we find. We get a 51, which is collapsed architecture, so it's another collapsed room. So this place is falling apart. I don't know what the purpose of this room is yet. Let's reveal the danger. And we get a 22. Check the theme card. And 22 on the theme card is dire warnings of a long buried danger. So we're in this collapsed room. And I think that... So a long buried danger. I think that Wiglaf sees scribbling on the wall. Maybe this was an area that held a prisoner or something, and he sees scribbling on the wall that says basically, beware the husk. We do have to mark progress here. And it's warning of the dangers of a husk and how husks can only be defeated by casting the Ritual of Radiance. So he says, okay, maybe I'm on the right track, but it's just warning that there's an ancient danger. Now, I don't know whether there's a danger here. We haven't encountered any denizens yet, but we'll see what happens. There's an possibility of an iron-racked beast. So let me retcon that and instead say there's writing on the wall, warning of an iron-racked beast, and that there are beasts that have like iron in their blood, and they're very dangerous. And Wiglaf wonders if maybe the Kalanect is such a creature. So now, as we've said, there could be a way to go to the side here, or we could go continue up. I think what Wiglaf wants to do is try to come to the side. So we're in this collapsed room. He sees this warning written on the wall that you'd better beware of the iron-racked beast. And that's basically all it says. And Wiglaf says, okay, there's a way up, or there's a way to go to the side here, to the other side of the tower. Let's get through the room first, and we'll kind of see what happens. I think he's trying to go to the other side of the tower. And we're going to use plus wits because And we're trying to do it carefully and pick our way through. And we roll a 5 plus 2 is 7, but again, my dice hate me. It's against an 8 and a 2, so that's a weak hit. So now we roll against the wits chart, and we get a 64, which is choose one. Mark progress or find an opportunity. So I think we're going to mark progress. And Wiglaf is able to make it into the next room. So let's actually draw that. He's able to make it into the next room, and let's roll and see what do we get. In the next room, he finds Inscrutable Relics. So this isn't going to be what he wants because we're not far enough along. And I think the way my dice are rolling, I'm going to try to get at least 9 progress on this thing just because of the luck that I've been having. So we find Inscrutable Relics. So we find a room with Inscrutable Relics. There may be a way back down here. Let's go ahead and connect these. Don't know whether it's going to be blocked or not. But we don't need to go down to that chamber anyway because we're going to be continuing upwards. And so they're Inscrutable Relics. And we did not find an opportunity, so we end up with in this room that has these Inscrutable Relics. So let's see what do we know about these relics. Let's roll action and theme and see what we get. 49 is defy, and 56 is advantage. Defy advantage. What's 65? Defy dream. Okay, so I think this area has relics in it that are like divination. So maybe it has a bunch of like crystal balls, and Wiglaf doesn't know what to make of these, but he's going to actually take one of the crystal balls. He sees, so there's this ancient table in the center of the room, and it has on it, it had like some sort of a cloth that's mostly crumbled away to dust. There are some fragments left, but not much. And atop this are these stands, and each one contains a crystal ball. Several of them are gone, a couple of them are broken, but one of them is intact. And Wiglaf is going to take this crystal ball. Maybe someday it'll be of use, and he's going to pocket it. He's going to put it in his sack or pouch, or his backpack. And Griff is, sort of bewildered by this because he has no idea what the heck you would do with any such things. But so now we're in this room that has the Inscrutable Relics, and we need to go upwards. So what we're going to do now is we're going to continue this like over here, right? So we're just going to move to this side, right? And we're going to continue going up. So we're on this side actually. So I don't know how to do this, but we'll draw a little arrow coming down. So Wiglaf is going to try to get through here, and there's another stairway heading up, and he goes through the room and heads to the next stairway. And again, I think he's using plus wits. I don't really see any reason to do anything else. We roll a 3. Plus 2 is 5 against an 8 and a 6. That's a miss. We reveal a danger. And the danger is 25. Check the theme card. We look at the theme card under 25, and we get an artifact of terrible meaning or power. So, I think this is perfect. Wiglaf has pocketed this thing, but all of a sudden, it starts to glow. It starts to do something to him. I think it was doing stuff about dreams. I think all of a sudden the power of this relic reaches out, and Wiglaf, what Griff sees is Wiglaf collapses. But Wiglaf finds himself in like a dreamscape. He's suddenly in a weird multicolored field, like the astral plane almost. He's standing on a shore of a silver sea, and there's multicolored sky, purple and orange and green and blue, and these weird alien-looking plants, and all of a sudden he finds himself in the middle of this dream. And so is he going to be able to get out of it? I think that he's going to have to try. And the question is, and I'm going to pause it as I think about this, do we want to just do one move here, or should this be a scene challenge where he has to wrestle with this thing? So let me pause and think about it. Okay, so what I've decided is we're going to do a face danger here rather than a scene challenge, because the goal of this is the delve, right? And like the editor, writer, GM in me is like, this is a diversion. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to have to. I don't necessarily want to do like a whole session about this thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to face danger, right? Wiglaf has been sort of mind controlled by this sphere, this crystal ball, and he's got to try to break it. And I think this is with courage. I think this is plus heart. I think that makes the most sense. And he's going to have to try to find a way to break the power of this thing. I think if he fails, then we're going to be stuck in the dreamscape and we're going to have to do a scene challenge to get out. So, we're facing danger plus heart, and we roll a 3. My gosh. Plus 4 is 7 against a 7 and a 10. That is a miss. So, that means our next session is going to be a scene challenge where Wiglaf is going to have to battle dream creatures or something to try and get out of this thing. And if he fails, I think Wiglaf ends up lying on the floor of this with his loyal dog waiting by his side, trying to lick him and wake him up. Maybe Griff can help him a little bit. I don't know. But I don't think so. I think this is basically potentially the end of Wiglaf. I think that if he can't get out of this dream, then he just ends up permanently locked in a dream until his body dies, and Griff, probably after he dies, wanders away, and that's the end of this character. Not that I want him to die, but I'm not sure what else to do here. I'll think more about it as I get to the next session, because I'll be a couple of days. But yeah, I think we're kind of stuck here. We've had just absolutely horrible luck with our dice. I told you guys last time we rolled too well last time, the dice were going to make me pay, and they certainly did this session. Man, I could not get a strong hit to save my life. But we're doing okay. We're 4 progress, but we're now locked in a dream sequence, and we'll do that scene challenge in the next session. Until next time, I am Scrapperlock, and this has been Ironsworn Antarctica.